This is Dropping Hints.
I'm Alex.
I'm Silas.
In this podcast, you'll catch a glimpse of our everyday conversations.
Well, welcome back. We got a good little story time for you here today. We're going to be telling you a little bit about Turkey Rod Run, sometimes just known as Turkey Run, the biggest and bestest classic car show in the Southeast. And that's not my opinion. That is a fact. According to, what was his name? Mr. Larry Lancaster.
It's probably just called Mr. Big or something.
Mr. Biggs. We're talking about this guy from the. We'll get into it. So what are we talking about? Well, first off, welcome back to Dropping Hints. You just got the welcome in the intro. You don't need it again. Here we are. We're talking about Turkey Rod Run, which is a classic car show. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Well, I should first tell you what it is not.
What is it not?
Because it is not just a place. It's not something where we gather everyone together and we put them in this ring and then we set loose a bunch of wild turkeys and we just let the turkeys run all over the place and the kids have to run all over the place. This is what our older sisters told us about this event called Turkey Run, is that they gather all the people together in a pen and they let turkeys loose and they chase them. And that's why it's called Turkey Run.
I have no memory of that.
That is what it is not. What it is a classic car show in Daytona Beach, Florida. And
DAB. D-A-B.
Or
Daytona Beach.
Are you telling me to dab?
That's the abbreviation for Daytona Beach.
Yes.
I wonder if Daytona Beach Airport is called DAB.
Yes, it probably is.
That'd be good. That'd be helpful.
So anyway, this car show, we would always used to go to it back in like the mid 2000s. Was
06, 04, 08.
Any of those times. We'd go to this car show, spend Thanksgiving in Daytona Beach with grandparents, and then attend this car show as well. Yeah, just for fun.
It was in the November.
Just for some good, wholesome, classic family entertainment, listening to the sound of automobiles driving and nostalgic music. And
you're just walking around and you're like, this fresh scent of carbon monoxide and carnival food.
It's a great combination.
The two best things.
So walking into Turkey Run, that would be the first things that would hit your sensory oracles on your face would be the sound
of cars,
and random country people talking,
random hicks talking.
Also, like throwback music from
from the 50s and 60s. Anything that you can imagine, they were playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you would see
like lots of Elvis songs
you were telling me about before.
Yeah,
we were talking about the Elvis songs, but not gonna do what I did when I said that. But
I thought you were. But
I just can't. I can't just pull it out of nowhere. I have to be prepared to do that.
So you. But the eyes
would see some of the most horrifying. The eyes would see really cool classic cars, and a lot of people.
A lot of strange people.
A lot of strange looking people. A lot of normal looking people.
Yeah.
A lot of normal looking people, but then also
normal for the mid 2000s.
Normal for the mid 2000s. Yeah, everybody's wearing jean shorts.
Isn't it weird how I was thinking about this? Yeah, that was the style back then.
Jean shorts with your shirt tucked in.
Shirt tucked in.
T-shirt tucked in. Yeah.
Yeah, t-shirt tucked in. And it's like no one like that was definitely its own sect of style. You know, that was like a dad style.
There was not one.
But even now, like
style.
that's not a dad style. Like that's not a.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I said
changed.
The other day, I said if we went back
but
to
it's
Turkey
coming
Run,
back. It's coming back.
Everything comes back after you give it long enough.
Yes, it's coming back.
I said if you went to Turkey Run today, it would probably be like time stood still. Like I feel like everybody would still look the same, act the same, sound the same. Because they're just people. And I mean, it's only been like so many years. They probably haven't changed that much. I mean, I feel like the world has We're not getting into that's too philosophical.
All right. So anyway,
we're talking about car show.
Yeah, you'd walk in and you'd see all these, cool cars, whatever, and then see all the people and, go ahead and just form your own conclusions about that. And then we talked about what you'd hear. You'd smell the smell of exhaust fumes early in the morning with the morning dew, and it's just great. The sun peeking over the bank of the Daytona Speedway, and
yeah, I don't know if we
crisp.
mentioned this is held at Daytona Speedway, where like they have the Daytona 500 and the Rolex 24, the two biggest races in North America. If you're into
not quite, but
what's bigger in North America than the Daytona 500?
Oh, well, I think that one's probably the. Anyway,
what's the second biggest?
I don't know. I don't think it's a Rolex though.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, I guess in that category maybe of like that kind of racing.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, it's like the answer to Le Mans.
It's all right. Anyway, moving on. So, all right, what would you'd smell? Yeah, you'd smell those things. You'd also smell the sweet smell of funnel cake early in the morning.
I've never had a funnel cake. I plan to keep it that way until at least the day I die.
Basically, it's like deep fried
batter. It's like cake batter, I think, or roughly speaking.
And they put like powdered sugar on it. It just smells like carnival food. You smell corn dogs. They also the big ticket food item there was the giant turkey legs that they'd sell.
You'd always see people walking around with giant turkey legs because it was right around Thanksgiving. So yeah.
Well, you can get those too from, or I have gotten those big turkey legs from Epcot.
They have them at Disney too,
Showcase.
where you can go around and get them, and they're not
but
my
Turkey
style.
Run was like, they were huge.
They were mega.
So you'd be chomping down on your giant turkey leg, eating your funnel cake, drinking anything you wanted.
Literally,
basically.
there was this like soda stand.
It was like a vintage soda stand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the soda stand that would cart around, and they had these mugs, and you could buy the mug for like, I don't know, $25 or $30 or something like that.
I thought it was cheaper than that, but whatever.
Well, the point was you got $1 refills on this mug that was probably like 30 ounces or something like that.
Yeah.
For life, forever. It's like you get $1 refills from
basically
this
it was like a
soda
contest
shack.
of who can put more sugar in their body.
Right. And
the
apparently
shortest
they
amount of
probably should have made it more expensive because we stopped seeing them after a few years. So maybe they just stopped coming to Daytona Turkey Run because it was like not worth it. I don't know. But that was a really good. What was it called?
I don't know. But it was, like I said, basically a contest of who could put the most sugar inside them.
I mean, you'd
in
always
the shortest amount of time.
They had like root beer and cream soda. Like that was what they had. Yeah. So you get the root beer.
But it is like stepping back in time because, you see all like the classic cars and like all the classic people, I guess.
Well, everybody's dressing like it's 2005. Even today,
because it was 2005.
Because it was 2005, but of course, even today. So everybody's dressing like that, but
so there was the car show part, there was the food part, and then there was good old swap shop.
The swap shop. You're like, ooh, it's the swap shop.
Swap shop.
Well, it's where you basically just take a bunch of junk, lay it out on a tarp, and put little tags next to it with money on it, and you say, this is how much you have to pay for it. And people are like, yeah, I'm into that.
And then they go and
they go and do it.
They might negotiate a little bit, like
might haggle a the
price is 25, but
increase to 100.
I'll give you 19 for this.
19. They're like arbitrary. Yeah, you see, you marked price of 25. I'll give you $18.46. It's like that's all I have in my pockets. That's why it's so specific.
Cash right now,
hard
money.
Cash. Like, I can go sell this for $30 on Amazon. Obviously now everybody.
Did you ever buy anything from the swap shop?
I bought a couple of things, particularly. I should have gotten one. I don't know if I don't even know where they are though. That's the problem. Like I would have had to really hunt.
You know what we did buy? We did buy one of those old time telephones.
Yes.
And we still have that.
You saw it. If you're a loyal viewer, it was actually sitting on the desk one time long ago.
With the dial that you have to spin the number. Yeah, and it makes that sound. And then you pick up the earpiece,
and you speak into the...
And it's separate from the talking piece.
Yeah, you hold the talking stick and you're like, hello, hello, and you stick it to
Truly
your ear.
a
Obviously, yes. But to
relic.
us, it's normal because
A relic from the
we
past.
watch all those old shows where it's like we see it all the time. So it's just like intuitive to us to be like, oh, yes.
Yeah, I wonder how many people don't know.
Like how many people
wouldn't recognize it.
Would be like, I feel like people would recognize that it's a telephone because, like, especially because, like, the hipster thing that's in is like vintage stuff from like the 50s, you know, that kind of style, roughly speaking. I mean, people know what like record players are, right? And like phonographs, because that's like hot right now. People are like, oh yeah, like I want to get like records and play records. And it's like, okay,
yeah, I don't know if that'll ever happen with these rotary phones, but
no, that because there's no functional purpose to a landline, obviously. So
didn't we talk about that?
Maybe, yeah, I don't remember. I think we did. We were all over the place last week.
Yeah.
But what I bought some tin signs.
Nice.
Some tin signs that are like, I don't know, they're like
signs.
What are they? You reckon like 14 by 20?
Okay.
Just giving you some dimensionality so you can
14 by 20 what? Miles?
I was thinking cubits, but that's okay.
Cubits.
So I got these tin signs. I had a few. So one had a pirate face on it, and it said, "Keep out. This means you, matey."
And you used to put it on the door.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be on the door because it wasn't really my door to put it on.
No, you put it on the door.
For a short time.
Yeah.
Then we got another tin sign that said "Man Cave."
Man cave.
Another tin sign that I had at the time, it was Jeff Gordon's car, the 24, with the DuPont logo on it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. It was the DuPont logo on Jeff Gordon's car from way back in the day, the, you know, bright red and blue car. And it was the dumbest thing ever. It said, like, Jeff Gordon fans parking only. It was like parking only for Jeff Gordon. I don't know how they worded it, but it was like Jeff Gordon fans parking only. And I was like,
gosh.
That's just, I don't know. I got it because I didn't really care about Jeff Gordon. I just loved the DuPont car. And so it like,
that
by extension, it was like, okay, you know, then Jeff Gordon, I guess.
So if you haven't picked up by now, basically the swap shop was just a place where you could go and just waste money buying things that you don't need.
I mean, honestly, besides like food, water, and shelter, that's all you're ever doing.
Yeah. Well, they also sold a lot of car parts.
Yes, there were a lot of
our father
car parts,
car
cool
parts
stuff like that.
time. So
Necessary stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, things that you'd look at it and you'd just say, it's a rusty piece of metal. Why would I want it? But to a collector, it's like this. It's like, you don't understand. This bracket right here, like this bracket, there were only a dozen of them made. I'm searching for this for 17
Yeah.
years. Finally, I found it.
That was the fun of it. You could see in this car show, it's not just like, you know, strictly classic cars. Well, what I'm trying to say is a lot of the classic cars are like super customized, and they're very unique. Some of them are just straight up weird.
Yeah.
There was one that was like, we saw it was like backwards. Like it looked like a pickup truck.
I thought that one was
but it
cool.
drove backward. I don't know that I would like be comfortable driving down the road in that because I feel like I would cause an accident.
Yeah. Just to clarify, it was a pickup truck, and in the cab section, everything was turned around,
right?
So that you were
facing
out the back windshield. And the engine was in the bed of the truck.
Bed, yeah. And it was obviously a truck from like the 1950s or 60s.
And so
it was old.
It looked like it should be going this way, but forward was actually reverse.
Was the other way. Yeah.
And reverse was forward.
So you're like, well, that's just weird.
Yeah, but that was
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
but then there's some people, I don't know, I always thought it was like when people like take their classic car that's like super like cool, and then if they just like, I don't know, I feel like some people like, in doing what they wanted to do to the car and customizing it, I would be like, you ruined it. Like, Like, I mean,
I
it's
dare you to
obviously
walk
it's
up to
completely
one
up
of
to-
these guys
I
and
know.
say that.
I was thinking about that. Like, if I walk up to some guy who had like
Derpy
this
little
super
Silas
cool car,
walking up.
and then they chopped it or something like that, chopped it this way and that way, and painted it, hot neon lavender, and put Rat Think logos all over it. I just be like, you ruined it. Like, what if I can't believe you've done this?
Silas does not approve of your design
No.
choices.
No, yeah.
Well,
if
see,
you've seen
that's the
Rat
thing
Think,
of it.
then you wouldn't approve either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know what that was about, but
Anyway, so basically, what you're telling me is that you're not. You don't want anyone else to have any sort of
Fun?
artistic expression.
Artistic expression should be limited to probably, I would say, like a 4x4 reference frame. More, I'm being
For what?
I'm being facetious.
For what? Millimeters or
Cubits, obviously,
Car
as we
lengths.
discussed. I go exclusively in cubit, and also car length is not specific because some people might take their nice 1958 Thunderbird, let's say, and chop it down so that it's like 2 feet shorter or something like that. That would be a technological feat, actually, if they chopped it down that much.
2 feet. Besides, the car is only like 5 feet tall to begin with.
I meant shorter lengthwise from butt to face.
Sure.
I couldn't think of it. Bumper to bumper.
Front to back.
Bumper to bumper.
Bumper to bumper.
Yeah. But that was, I was going to say something about that.
Look, if you're ever in a neighborhood, all right, Daytona Beach, Florida,
Yes.
check out Turkey Rod Run.
Yes. It's right around Thanksgiving time. So
You might be sorry, but probably
I don't
not.
think you will. I mean, admission is pretty darn cheap, right? And you can at least go and get some nice soft serve ice cream. Some pecan
Yep.
pralines, some candied pecans, freshly candied pecans, a turkey leg if you're into that. I'm not into that. And the funnel cake if you're into that. Like I said, I plan not to eat one of those
dogs,
until at least the day
burgers.
I'm dead. But yeah, corn dogs, burgers, you name it, they got it. Most notably, classic cars, which.
Who knows? Maybe you'll see me up there.
Maybe you'll
sooner or later.
see him up there one day. I don't know anything about cars. I think they just look cool. I made a story about that a few days ago. I said I don't know anything about cars. They're
So
just
now
kinda
you're
look
plugging
cool.
your Instagram on the podcast.
Let me put it this way: if somebody's here, they probably follow me on Instagram. I mean, by all means, speak up if you are the exception to that rule. Which is
So now
possible.
they have to follow rules if they're going to listen to you.
I mean, everybody has to follow rules in life. That's the only way.
That's the only
that
rule
society
of life.
hells. That's the only way that society holds together.
What are you trying to say?
Society is hell unless we follow rules.
All right. Well, there's your hint for
Particularly
today.
the one rule that like Jesus gave. To love God, love people.
Have
And then
fun.
we amended them by saying, and also have fun.
Where is this going?